Hey, welcome to another Splash Pages special where we're going to be covering the news. Well, I'm not going to be covering it, but you know who is?
Drew's News! Drew's News! Exciting tales, fresh comic views. In the pages, heroes fly, villains plot under the sky. From Gotham's dark to Metropolis views, we cover stories old and new. Drew's News! Drew's News! Your daily source for comic clues. Join the fun, it's a heroic cruise in the world of Drew's comic news.
It's way too cold for this. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Drew's News. I think you got the picture. We got some great news to cover. So honestly, with the man behind the pond, let's get into it. Tell you, yes. So Dark Horse has announced Young Hellboy Thrilling Sky Adventures, which is a new installment of the Young Hellboy series, exploring the famous BPRD agent's childhood. So this was created by Mike Mignola, with writer Thomas E. Sniegoski, artist Craig Rousseau, colorist Chris O'Halloran, and letterer Clem Robbins. So this will be a 4-issue series that's offering an adventure for the pilot Scarlett Santiago, aka the Sky Devil, who Young Hellboy and Professor Bruttenholm encountered in Young Hellboy: The Hidden Land. So the synopsis for it is, in the comic adventure within an adventure, Scarlett Santiago may have vanquished too many villains and made too many enemies to keep a low profile on the streets anymore. To keep herself safe and defeat the bad guys who are after her, she teams up with a mysterious feline figure who has similar goals. This new duo goes toe-to-toe with new dastardly foes in a series that's sure to entertain both Hellboy and Young Hellboy fans alike. It sounds like, according to Sniegoski, who fortunately we've actually had on our show last year, this is something that he's really been thinking about since wrapping up Young Hellboy: The Hidden Land. And again, essentially, he's glad to have the whole group back together. He thinks it's going to come out great, and it's just pulpy goodness. And of course, this is the team who also gave us the most excellent Herculoid series that most recently wrapped up. So again,
Yeah,
it's just
I was going to mention that. Like all those names sound familiar, and Herculoids was awesome.
Yes, it totally was. But essentially, it's just going to be an absolute treat, and it's kicking off. Excuse me. On May 20th with a main cover by Rousseau, a variant by David Hitchcock, and of course a blank sketch. And then this is just one of many things to look forward in the Hellboy universe. You've got The Crown, A Tale of Hell on February 11th, a new Frankenstein New World series called The Speed of Darkness on April 22nd, and the latest Hellboy in Love series, Black Eyes, which is releasing April 29th. And of course, the remaining issues of Captain Henry and the Graveyard of Time, Miss Truesdale and the Rise of Man, and Carmen Redclaw. So it's just a lot of Hellboy, which for fans, you can't get enough of Big Red and his entertaining yet creepy little universe. So, like I said, if you like what you're seeing, and if you enjoyed The Hidden Lands and Assault on Castle Death, this is right up for you.
Yeah, and we got the 2 covers there. I believe this is the main cover, and this is the
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be the David Hitchcock cover. Both of them are great. So
yeah, totally.
absolutely.
Yeah, and more Young Hellboy. It's can't get enough of that.
It's all for it, man. I'm all for anything in that universe. So what's next?
Okay, well, let me see here. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Okay, so recently this year we had the pleasure of having the writer of this comic, Jeph Loeb, on, and he said nothing about this, which means he is very good at keeping a secret. If almost like he was remaining hush about it. Yes, that's exactly the pun you think it is, and I don't, and your hate just empowers me. So Jeph Loeb is teaming up with an industry legend, Jim Cheung, who bears no introduction but Young Avengers, Justice League, Spider-Man Clone Conspiracy, to tell a special crossover story called excuse me, it's Batman Wonder Woman Truth, that is essentially telling the story of Wonder Woman and Batman teaming up to get back her lasso of truth that has been taken by the relationship duo of Joker and Harley Quinn. And I know some of you would be like, wait a second, when is this? Because Harley and Joker haven't been a couple in a long time. And you would be right, because this story is actually taking place in a timeline right following the aftermath of the iconic Batman Hush series. So
And that's the original Hush, not the
that's a
Hattush.
Hattush.
Hattush, yeah.
No, not Hattush, just or Hush 2. So, I mean, again, like I said, it's an interesting thing because, again, the Diana that we're seeing there, gorgeously drawn by Jim Cheung, is wearing her costume from her 2020 era. So I'm not really sure of timeline here. I'm just going off of what I'm saying. But this goes on sale April 29th. I believe it's going to be a one-shot, but we'll see if it's a one-shot, if it's a limited series ongoing. I'm not really sure. But any chance for Jeph to team up with someone to just deliver top-notch work, I'm all for it. And this sounds absolutely great. So let's see where it goes.
Yeah, more Jeph Batman is definitely something
Mm-hmm.
we need. I was so sad that I missed the interview. Did you guys get a chance to talk about well, I know he can't talk about the finale for Hachush since
No, he didn't.
since it's hasn't come out yet. I'm pretty sure.
No. It's
It
gonna
got
be
delayed.
delayed to mid this year, if
Yeah.
anything, the finale. So, but Leo, this'll maybe satiate your appetite while we wait for the
Yeah.
conclusion of Hutch 2.
Yeah, and it's early, well, not early, but Batman in the aughts, so maybe we'll get a reprise of Alfred. I'm kind of growing on how they're doing Alfred in the current run, where he's been coming back as like they make it seem like a ghost, but it's just Batman's memory, but Batman's talking to him. So
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's interesting because it kind of gives the fans what they want, but it still keeps it within the context of this is someone who's grieving the loss of a essentially um his a father figure. So
yeah,
we'll see. But
yeah.
yep, so that's in April this year. So keep an eye out for it because you know that's gonna sell like hotcakes.
Oh hell yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and yeah, yeah.
yeah, you know. All right,
Batman
so
is just like so like what do the kids say, on fleek?
yeah,
So
moving on. Um that's just next. Um okay, this I'm very excited about. So if you are a fan of the horror series Killadelphia, which not gonna lie, totally am. Rodney Barnes and Jason Sean Alexander are teaming up with the unexpected writer slash reggae star Shaggy on a original graphic novel called The Port. This is going to be due out from Barnes's Zombie Love imprint later this year, and the story follows zesty pirate Artemis Slay and his ghostly crew as they exit the death realm and descend upon the wickedest city on earth in Port Royal, Jamaica, where, and I quote, buried sins and restless souls collide in a tale of redemption, rebellion, and rhythm. So this is uh, describing the debauchery-filled city that's, of course, famed for pirates and revelers who met its end in 1692 when an earthquake laid two-thirds of the settlement underwater, but has been a popular locale for storytellers to revive. Shaggy has nothing but such excitement for this project. He says it's an unpredictable adventure taking place in the Caribbean, but not how you might expect, saying that it's been scary and fun. And Barnes said that the story of Port Royal is intriguing and terrifying, and no place on earth is more interesting than the island of Jamaica. And he says nothing makes art better than making it with friends. And I could not agree more than that. This is the first step in a creative alliance between Um, Barnes, Shaggy, and Martin Kirtzenbaum, who's the CEO of Cherry Tree Music Company, who represents Shaggy. This will debut in 2026, and when we have a date for that, we will let you know. So keep an eye out for it. And yeah, this looks great.
Yeah, totally. If he does some cons though, it might be tough to get his autograph because he'll just, it wasn't me.
Get out. I swear, I knew that's where you're going with it, and I hate you so much. All right. What's next up is a story that I think our buddy Jar Jar Jeremy would definitely enjoy because he is a fan of the kaijus, as am I. So check this out. Hidden Springs. This is a new series from Dark Horse featuring Rob Williams, who did Petrol Head and Judge Dredd, artist Neil Vendrell, who did Stranger Things, Tales from Hawkins, and Shirtless Bear Fighter, note for later, colorist Berta Sarce, and letterist Simon Boland, who did John le Carre's Circus, Losing Control, and The Boys. And the story centers around a retirement community field trip for the group of aging ex-Hollywood stars turns toward the bizarre when they encounter a baby kaiju on the run from military agents. Bonding quickly with the creature, the cantankerous cadre of former celebrities have to get somehow the kaiju to safety before it causes the end of the world. Um, Essentially, Williams basically explained that this is just a fun chase thriller with a difference. The difference between that a bunch of decrepit old Hollywood actors, a director, a rock star, a comedian, and a guy who may have been a hitman basically have to get the baby kaiju back to its ocean home before the military captures it and then locks them away for the rest of their lives. So he said it's a story about finding something vital and important inside yourself, something worth fighting for at a point in your life when you've been convinced there's nothing left. And he says the whole process, all the collaboration has just been a complete joy. So this is going to be a 4-issue series that features a main cover by Pollock, which you see there. And it will also have a variant cover by Pi Par, who did 2000 AD and Patrol Head right there. And then you can check those out. And then, of course, if anything else comes, we'll let you know. But this hits the stores May 13th, 2026, about $4.99.
Nice. So
Yeah,
it's what
it's like Free Willy, but for kaijus.
I was gonna say it's Gamera meets Cocoon.
Yeah, either way. Point is just unexpected odds, heartwarming story. Get the thing back in the water. I thought Free Willy, but yours also works too.
Oh yeah, yeah. As I mean, aging actors, maybe they'll have Steve Gutenberg
No,
again.
I think Cocoon is a good analogy too.
Yeah.
So, all right,
Well,
the
Steve
next one
Gutenberg
is
was in Cocoon. Sorry.
Diabetes. Wilford Brimley. All right. Next up, The Neighborhood Watch. So, award-winning author Sarah Gailey, known for Know Your Station, Eat the Rich, and fan favorite artist Haining from Absolute Fash, comes together to make a all-new mind-bending thriller about community in The Neighborhood Watch. The synopsis is Jill Hewitt, community leader and wife of respected police officer, has turned up with a grievous gunshot wound in a tunnel connecting the Will Harbor gated community with the neighboring Open Arms Collective. And now the VP of the HOA and the kitchen steward of the collective have stumbled upon her body at the exact same time, casting blame instantly on the already fragile divide. Forced into an uneasy alliance to uncover the truth, they'll need to work together to unearth the secrets both communities hold to figure out who's responsible and what the killers could have gained from her death. And of course, what is she doing in the tunnel in the first place? Questions. This, which, if I'm correct, is a new #1 series from Boom Studios, will feature a cover by artist Haining, as you see there, and variants by Susprizia Vilchet, Jenny Frisson, and Tula Latte. So this looks so cool, and this will be available in comic shops April 8th. So very, very
Nice.
intriguing, and Boom always puts out great stuff. So definitely another thing to look forward to within their already impressive catalog.
Yeah, you didn't say the company name right though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right. Boom. Studios. Is that better?
There we go. Much better.
Okay.
Much better.
Cool. Just making sure. So yeah. And now this next one I'm a little bit more excited about because, ghosts. Um, Oni Press has become a fantastic outlet for new horror series. Carrie, I'm sure, subscribes to them already. And their next, what should be hit, is a 4-issue miniseries called Estuary, a Ghost Story. So this describes atop of a rocky cliff overlooking the Pacific Ocean sits the mission at Arubis Point, a 400-year-old Spanish mission made infamous as one of California's oldest and most haunted historical sites. But beneath its crumbling tourist trap facade, a reclusive nun has spent decades within the mission walls, honing her prayers and practice in pursuit of a secret long buried under the majesty of the chapel and under the dark waves of the tidal estuary below. When marine archaeologist Marie Cristobal accepts the nun's offer to begin excavating a fabled shipwreck lying in wait beneath the mission's turbulent waters, she will soon discover that the sins of the past and the present are about to wash together in a harrowing surge of a vengeance that can no longer be contained. So this is written by Tim Daniel and David D.B. Andre, who did Crush Depth and Morning Star, and illustrated by Mon House, who did Mine is a Long Gruesome Grave. The first issue has covers by Mon House, Vanessa Del Rey, and Tim Daniel. So Andre has nothing but great things to say about him and Tim working together. They're both from North Carolina. They growing up around San Francisco, Bodega Bay, Monterey. So this is all the haunted vibes, mystery, romance, and history of the area. And there's even the slight religiousness tying the otherworldly events to the past of the missions. Was kind of natural and cathartic for both of them. They said that it just kind of poured out of them. Yeah, I mean, again, this is a book with a thick atmosphere, with just deep blacks and hammer horror-esque colors. This mix of spiritual and supernatural is just on every page. But of course, it's not a gothic tale without some romance. So again, you're going to have unwitting sleuths discovering desire for one another, but also deep, dark malevolence lurking beneath the grounds of the old mission. And it's basically a modern gothic tale for the smartphone edge. So this will be its estuary. I'm pretty sure I said it incorrectly first, so I'm going to correct myself. A Ghost Story. Issue 1 will be released April 8th of this year.
Nice. The artwork looks awesome, and it looks like a really decent horror story.
Oh yeah,
Reminds me similar to there was another story we covered, similar area, the Alcatraz escape.
Oh, Tyler Crook.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's got that kind of nice aesthetic. And then the backgrounds, I mean, this is the kind of thing that our great Carrie Sanders would most likely review and let us know if it was enough to haunt our nightmares. I'm like, you don't know anything about my nightmares, but this is terrifying. And then the last but not least is continuing on a trend we're already seeing ongoing. And
Yeah,
it actually makes me think close to home. Sleepy Hollow.
It's like it's October already.
I know, right? So, as we know, there was recently a release of a miniseries, Return to Sleepy Hollow, which was a 5-issue comic book sequel to Tim Burton's 1999 film featuring Johnny Depp and the iconic Headless Horseman from the Legend of Sleepy Hollow from Washington Irving. While Return to Sleepy Hollow is still ongoing, IDW Dark is expanding on the world yet again with a new prequel. Now, this will be out May 6th. Sleepy Hollow, The Witches of the Western Wood, going back to depict the origins of Lady Mary Van Tassel, who, as you remember, is Miranda Richardson's character from the Burton film, and the beginnings of her connection with the Headless Horseman. The synopsis reads, before she was known as Lady Van Tassel, terrorizing Sleepy Hollow with her ghostly avenger, she went by Sarah Archer, a young girl trying to survive her witch of a mother, as her and her twin are raised in the wild western woods, taught the ways of witchcraft, and forced to endure abuse and neglect. But a chance encounter with the ghoulish Hessian at the moment of his beheading lights a fire in Sarah, giving her the power to overcome those who have wronged her and grow into a fearsome witch. So, the one of the creators has said, I believe it's Dawson, has said that they've been a fan of Sleepy Hollow since they saw it, and a fan of Burton ever since Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So playing in the world has just been an absolute treat. Essentially, it seems like they've had this brewing in their mind for a while. And yeah, I mean, honestly, this sounds pretty cool. I mean, again, this is a 5-issue miniseries. Pre-orders will start in March, and the debut issue will be, again, 5-issue series starting on May 6th. So, I mean, like I said, it's again, it's one of those like, hi, this isn't what we didn't ask for this, but you know what? Still pretty cool. So again, I didn't mention the credits, but this is a book from writer Delilah S. Dawson and artist Jose Jarro. So, yep.
Very cool. I wonder if Tim Burton gets any residuals or anything from this.
You know, I honestly couldn't even tell you, but I do also know, Leo, that what you've been showing, the first cover is by that's by Luana Vecchio. The next one is Jose Jarro's cover, and then everything else you're showing there. Oh yeah, that too. That is Sarah Richards' cover, and everything else are character art.
Yep.
So pretty freaking cool, not gonna lie. So
Yeah, this is you do know, but like this is the second movie that Tim Burton's actually could be more than that. Tim Burton film has been continued on with comics because Batman '89.
right, I was gonna say. I mean, the Tim Burton movies, I think, sometimes have been finding that second life in the comic books. But again, it's one of those that it doesn't work for every Tim Burton movie, specific ones. Although I really don't know. Like, I feel like if I see a Mars Attacks comic, I'm like, oh no.
Oh, I love Mars Attacks.
I know you do. That's why you enjoyed it when we read Mars Attacks versus Real Ghostbusters. You know, but
So
that's
good we
pretty much
covered
it.
it
But
twice for the show.
but I will say this though, Leo, there is one thing that I do want to bring up that happened. I just found out about this today, and I have to say we have to bring it up. So we have to mention the passing of the legendary Sal Buscema, who has reportedly passed away at 89, just a few days short of his 90th birthday.
Oh no.
Yes, I don't know if anybody had seen, but he apparently passed away last Friday, January 23rd. So, as reported by his lovely, long-standing wife, Joan. For those who don't know, Sal, originally from Brooklyn, started the industry as an inker, working with his brother John on art at Dell Comics. This is how long ago. And while he did different jobs, it wasn't until 1968 that he was then interviewed at Marvel and eventually got some work on some Western comics where he worked with his brother on the Silver Surfer. And then he started penciling the Avengers and then off to the races. I mean, we're talking a career for Marvel over the course of 3 decades, stints on the Uncanny X-Men, the Submariner, Captain America, Marvel team-up. He co-created Spider-Man character Jean DeWolf, debuted the spin-offs Spider-Man titled The Spectacular Spider-Man. He also worked on New Mutants. He worked on Thor with the great Walt Simonson. And then in the 90s, he jumped over to DC, did some Batman, did some Superman, which was only brief because then he jumped back to Marvel. I mean, like I said, I mean, on top of it, his work on Spider-Man is just in a league of its own. I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic. I mean, he was the recipient of the Inkpot Award, the Inkwell Awards, the Ringo Award. But I honestly think the best tribute, as tributes are coming out, was by his longtime collaborator, J.M. DeMatteis, who he worked brilliantly with on the Spectacular Spider-Man. He said, there's hardly a Marvel character Sal hasn't left his mark on, from Cap to the Hulk, Avengers to Thor. Working with Sal for 2 years on Spectacular Spider-Man remains a highlight of my career. And the best part, he's not just a great artist, he's a truly good guy. What a loss, but grateful that we had him for 89 wonderful years. And of course, our condolences to his wife Joan and his sons Joe, Tony, and Mike.
Yeah, definitely a legend in the industry, and he will be missed.
100%, Leo. And it's another reason why I think we're always encouraging people, if you see them at a con, you don't know how long any of us had, so make the time. Even if you don't buy a book, just drop by and say, hey, I really love your work. They really like that kind of thing,
Totally.
So, but that's pretty much everything for the news, Mr. Pond. So, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us for Drew's News. Make sure to tune in for Splash Pages. That happens every Tuesday at 8 p.m. EST. Also, tune in. Make sure you like and subscribe our YouTube channels, because sometimes we do shows that aren't just on Tuesday. Sometimes we have shows on Wednesdays. Sometimes we have shows on Saturdays. So you don't want to miss out, because maybe there's someone we're interviewing that you really want to send a question to. I don't know. I don't know your life, but I'm just saying. And if you need to follow me, my name is Drew Mallow. It's that on Facebook, on Blue Sky, Ghostbuster Man 1984 on Instagram. Just generally a lot going on, but I promise you I will get back to you. I don't know, 2028 sound good? Maybe.
Yeah,
and please make sure to tune in, because we have so many great guests coming up as we wrap up January, which is already an amazing month, and are going to barrel straight into February, which, just spoiler everybody, February, the first week, we will have 3 guests that week. So I definitely tune in to find out who they are.
Yeah, some awesome stuff. And also check out our stuff on our YouTube page. We have a slew of special content there, our so much coverage from like Terrificon, some special panels, interviews, tons of stuff.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
all right. Well, thank you very much, Leo. Thank you, everybody. And stay warm out there. It's still fucking cold.